You're gonna get fucking pasted all over the sidewalk. Let's fucking go.
All right.
Wiley adds my money.
What are the total bonuses?
A quick check?
Oh, is it a quick? Okay.
Yes.
Oops.
Or
Is this Final Fantasy 13?
quick, but you can add your motorcycle bonuses.
Okay. So
Is this
that'd be,
13, Joe?
Is what?
Is this Final Fantasy 13 music?
I don't fucking know. It was just for free on Roll20.
Which means no. If it's for free, it's not.
Sounds like it.
Probably inspired by it.
Did you roll?
Amy,
Oh,
you
no.
are bro buddy.
Oh god, Amy. You've become the Matrix. Oh, goodbye. Amy. You've returned from the Matrix.
all right.
Nope, you're
Nope.
still in the Matrix.
No! Hello.
Hello.
There we
Hello.
go.
Hello.
Sorry about that. My computer needed updates.
You're good. Okay.
All right, so it's gonna be a quick roll. I get a +2 from motorcycles. Do I still get a bonus from Bengetti's device?
Not for this because it's testing your reaction.
All right. F's in chat. I think I dumped quick.
Just,
Just gotta read.
I think to not get clotheslined.
Yes. So if you recall, for Iris, they being Kaya and Bengetti, they were on the home stretch. They could see the finish line, and there was some weird shit going on. Like things were getting kind of destroyed, and it looked weird. And then a sharp, like metal, jagged. It looks like a giant barbed wire strand, but the barbs are broken glass, jagged metal shards on this fleshy thing underneath it. It just shot out across the street, like clothesline level.
Oh, that's not good.
Nope.
Nope.
Hey,
Not
look at that
bad.
roll. Look at that roll.
Oh shit.
Why the fuck did the music stop? Get this shit. What is this? Nobody said you could stop. All right. So, as you are rocketing down the last street, the last straightaway to what is effectively the finish line, you see a crowd gathering ahead. You see this thing rapidly approaching, and you manage to dodge. How do you want to describe how you dodge out of the way?
Oh. She probably like tilts the bike and like ducks down.
Power
Does it, like,
slide.
headlock? Yeah.
Power slide.
Like that GIF you sent earlier.
Yeah.
Literally power sliding, except there's a scared Aussie on your back.
Yep.
So you tip the bike, and
Mhm.
you hear the screeching of the tires, and just the bit of the protest from the handlebars as you whip it from one side to the other, so that it can power slide without throwing you off. And you're almost certain, or you're not quite certain, but you think you can hear the sound of screaming nearby in your ear, but there's a lot of road noise and just general chaos, and you can hear like the sound of your own breathing in your helmet, so it's a little disconcerting. But I feel like you heard the distressed screams of a small man. You right the bike with no issue. You lost a bit of speed, but you're not in danger of hitting that thing that jutted out across the street. And as you approach the finish line area, you can see what appears to be this gigantic. You're approaching it pretty rapidly, but I'm not going to make you roll as you pull up to the area. There's a crowd of people fleeing, and you can see what appears to be like almost like a sea urchin. It is this blob-like amorphous thing that seems to be like almost oozing out of a giant plasma screen TV. And there are other ropey, pointed pseudopods that are latched onto other parts of the street. And through the chaos, you can see your friends. You see Marcus, and you see Legacy and Piper, or Lindis. And this thing... Oh shit, I had a note for this. I had one preparation.
I successfully
is it?
distracted you from long enough you don't know where it is.
Oh, no, it's fine. Yeah. So you see this thing, and as you slide into the square and look, there's just screams and distress and people running. There's a handful of people who you're not sure, but you hear maybe distant gunshots, but you don't see any flashes. Most people are scattered because there were a lot of just peanut gallery people watching the race on the screens. But this thing is erupting out of the side of this building. It is probably about 20 or so feet up, and it is probably about 10 feet across, or 10 feet in diameter. It's not perfectly circular, but it's like amorphous shape is about that wide. There are some of them like extra people who had come with their friends or associates or other gang members, like the motorcycle gang, who are waiting in the square, half in this combative, confronting pose. And there is the maestro, who is standing with the sharp-pointed suit and the opaque helmet, staring up at this horrendous nightmare thing. As it crashes through the wall, Iris, you're looking up at it, and this is exactly what your boss sent you here to find something, and you're not boss, your employer sent you here to find something, and you're pretty sure this is it. To gather
hard to miss.
A high concentration of tech with a high concentration of valuable tech and power with a low enough concentration of people in this dense city area. And it successfully drew out the very obvious weird piece of technology. As for what you do now, it's kind of up in the air. He didn't say to retrieve it. He simply wanted evidence, proof, some sort of tangible, tangible piece of its existence. But if you would like to describe yourself, you may.
Well, this woman, she's average, maybe a little on the taller side. She's in a very nice black suit with a yellow tie. And the inner bit of her suit, you can kind of notice, is also yellow, like a kind of almost a golden-ish kind of color. She was wearing a helmet, but now that everything seems to be going to shit, she kind of just quickly tosses it off, tries to get a better view of the whole chaos going around. She has short, white-ish hair, like white blonde kind of thing. She's very she's not pale, but she's definitely like she doesn't get in the sun a lot, it seems. And she has a very stern look on her face, so she's kind of assessing everything around her. And trying to kind of figure out a mode of attack, I guess, or what the next step would be.
Perfect. Okay.
And one big thing, she doesn't have any weapons on her. She looks in a really nice, very nice suit with some really nice gloves. Very fancy, very spiff.
Yeah. So what you saw before as the like race organizer slash host is actually this very intense looking business professional woman with clad in black and yellow. So you see that she seems to be relatively undaunted by this weird bullshit that's going on, while you hear the screeching and bending of various pieces of metal like on the walls and around the buildings and structures. You're not sure, but as you are standing there watching this thing tear pieces of the walls and TVs and other wires and cabling and all bits of metal and electronics from the surrounding area, you're struggling to tell if the noises you're hearing are the bending and breaking of material or if it's the crew making noise. But I am going to need everyone to roll initiative. And you roll initiative. You roll initiative by rolling a quick check plus any bonuses you may or may not have to initiative, which are explicitly marked as a specialty in initiative.
Ah.
I go read my traits and talents really fast. I think
Also-
I just have defense stuff.
If you have anything relating to dreamers, I would like to know as well. I don't know.
Or +1 to gamers.
Plus against dreamers. Okay, cool.
Dreamers, what the
Good, cool.
You're rolling.
Yes, it is a. And that it's just a flat tokens. I'm going.
So that's dice roller, and then you move it to quick, correct?
And the
Okay.
bonus would be what have to initiative or
Yeah.
Is there 0?
Got.
Don't have to.
still fuck it up.
So, and I both rolled 11s.
Yeah.
Do you and you
Actually-
both have a +2? Huh?
And Amy. Or
Okay.
seeing
That
that very
was the
top.
Legacy and Iris. Do me a quick rollies to see who goes first.
So just a d20.
Yeah, just whoever rolls higher.
Not me.
Yikes. You're saying there's a chance.
Barely. Barely
That
any
was
better.
close.
And then
Oh yeah, I probably should not
Lindis.
be Iris, huh?
Kaya.
Lindis, Legacy, and Iris's character all have quick as their secondary stat.
Yeah, and I think quick is my last stat. Yep, it is.
I didn't want to use your name before you had a
Yeah,
chance to
that's
introduce
fine.
yourself. So do you want me to use it now for your turn? Oh, I got to roll for this creature.
I mean, we can
You know,
technically see her character sheet, so we know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh, okay, fair.
That's true.
This thing actually rolled way better than I thought it would. So it's
Oh,
going
No.
Oh,
to
boy.
go first.
I I don't like that.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
I don't know how to even do fucking combat in this game. I'm not prepared for this, Joe.
Well, technically, combat is just it's very similar to normal play. You just kind of dictate what you want to do, the actions you want to take, and then you'll roll in order of initiative. Where is it? I want the little cheat sheet.
You did share some the other day.
Yes. Okay. So. Oh. Go here. No. Side. All right. This, as you're watching this thing heave itself, you all can kind of see it looks like it's doing this gesture that is like an animal stuck in a place that is too small. It kind of undulates and moves itself and presses behind it against the remaining parts of the TV and wall and glass structures of the building, which causes more fragmentation and everything to shatter. And as it does this, more of these tendrils seem to creep out from seemingly just random places along the street and various buildings. They jut out almost like they were fired from a gun. They're lightning quick, and they hang rigid after they land. So more of these tendrils and everything are just popping up everywhere. But as it pushes one last big heave, it falls forward and slumps onto the concrete below. And now you can see this thing's full size as it dribbles down the outside edge of that hole it caused. It's much more viscous than it would appear. And the closer you look at it, you can actually see it's not leaving like a droplet or like little bits of disconnected matter. All of it is connected. It's just dragging itself slowly. So it seems to be intentionally leaving like a trail of itself to pick up remnants behind it as it progresses forward, and it is going to roll up onto its back, like its stomach of a sort, and it starts to like vibrate, and these tentacles, some of them pull and withdraw from some of the holes they've created and appear to come out of its back, Doc Ock style, and it will lurch these tentacles forward, up and over, and shunt them into the concrete with no effort. Just this rupturing, like, this concrete is just shattered. Motorcycles and other things are disrupted. Some of them fall over. The streets are mostly cleared except for a few souls who are far enough away and a bit too macho to feel better about doing otherwise. But as those tendrils hit, they begin to morph, and they turn into this disturbingly human-shaped entity. The tendril, like, it shrinks and to like a very thin, like almost like a string, and the bottom part of it starts to fill and make the shape of a human. But imagine a mannequin made of broken glass, and out of the top is a silver thread that leads back to this thing. And there are about 4-ish of these.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And that will be its turn. Lockhart.
This is horrifying. Just saying it's out of character. Holy fuck. Um. So just so I'm making sure I have this clear, it is holding itself up Doc Ock style, but then it also coming off those is the little human thing.
Oh, it's not holding itself up. It's flopped onto the ground, and these tendrils shot up and around its back and speared into the ground, and then turned into humans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And has it's been absorbing essentially anything it comes across, right?
As best you can tell, it seems to be trying to accumulate things and incorporate them into itself. You can't really see like anything that's overtly biological on it. It seems like a bunch of shards and pieces of metal. You don't see like, an arm or something just floating around in its mass.
Okay. And the silver thread, does it look like wire, essentially?
Yes, it looks like a very thin wire.
Okay.
It's not so thin that you can't see it. You can definitely see it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it would be equivalent to like a headphone jack kind of thing? Or
Yeah, something like that. Something around that thickness. It wouldn't be much thinner than that. It would not be much thinner than like headphone cable.
Okay. Does there happen to be any sharp objects around?
There are plenty. So from just the chaos of the street being destroyed and building shards being thrown onto the ground, there are bits of rebar that have been blasted out from parts of the concrete on the roads. There have been disjointed and torn pieces of metal from walls of various sizes. Something between handheld and something between car-sized are just strewn about.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to find something like sharp, preferably non-electronic.
Sure, you can you whip around and it doesn't take you long. You can find a piece of rebar that has a sharp pointed end. It's not like a sword so much as it is a spear, and it's bent towards the bottom part. It makes it look a little bit like a hooked baseball bat.
Okay, that works. So yeah, I want to basically try and disconnect that wire. See if that will do anything. Hopefully disconnect it and change this thing back to normal kind of thing, or at least the humanoid thing.
Okay. So this is going to be just a straight melee attack, which when you are rushing in and wailing on it, I will let you choose whether you want to use quick or tough.
Okay.
So you're able to pick whichever.
I will use tough.
Cool. So you're using tough. I'll give you a +1 because you're using a weapon. And do you have any other things that would help you in melee?
Let's see. I think I do.
Cool.
When you make a melee attack, you may also make it against the second target. Okay, no. Well, I mean, I guess I can use it on a second target.
Yeah, you could.
I'll do that. And I don't suffer disadvantage from environment. Oh, wait, no, that's only when barehanded. Never mind. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. So I'll try doing that.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll me your tough. And you're going to try and hit the other one as well. Do you get to roll for the other one, or this one will hit both?
When you make a melee attack, you may also make it against a second target in your range. So I think that's a second roll? I
I interpret it as you roll once and you can hit 2 people.
Okay, yeah. Then, yeah, I'll do that then.
Nice. Holy shit, that's a roll. Okay, so you turn around, skid on your heel, grab this piece of rebar. Actually, you don't even pick it up off the ground. You like stick your foot under it and kick it up into your hand and catch it in the air, and then you rush forward, spin it around so you grab the hook end of it, and then just you get this full speed momentum swing and just baseball bat it as hard as you can at that string. And it's a little bit weird at first because you're not hitting like a solid object. You're kind of hitting a string that could be a little loose. But when you wrap that cable against it, there's a lot more tension and weight to that string than you first thought. And you can feel it tugging and pulling, and then you step into it and then reach the hook end part out and grab the other one and start to yank so that you're pulling and trying to grind them against each other. You're dealing a good chunk of damage, and these things are they're not stumbling. They look like confused, almost disoriented people with no real discernible facial features, and they're just kind of bumbling around. When you yank the cables, they seem to just kind of flow with it almost. But I will give you for free that you can have both of them grappled with that rebar.
Yeah.
So you're just you're like wrapping the rebar end around both of these wires. So you have 2 of them effectively tied up.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Legacy, what are you doing?
This is not Legacy's forte.
Don't feel free to get creative because there's like environmental shit, there's still hackable shit, there's a bunch of stores that are just broken and destroyed all around you that you could easily walk into.
Does he seem to be like electronic in any form or fashion, or is he just seeming to gather metal and electronics?
You're smart enough to know that this thing is pulling electronics into itself. You can't necessarily make out any obvious electronic components that are on it, but you've watched it and you've seen it before. This thing is pulling it's pulled circuitry and circuit boards and wires into itself. It's got some electrical components inside it. It must.
Has it done enough damage that there's like street cables and shit showing or like laying on the ground or anything?
You mean like power grid street cables?
Yeah.
I will say that there are some that you could reasonably get to, but it would be closer to the base of the monster. The core of where the body is, that blob, when it landed on the ground, it didn't have any grace to its fall. It just full body weight whop onto the ground, and there's just splinters and broken pieces of concrete. And you can see poking through that piping and wiring and other things. You could get to it, you just be really close to the creature.
Exactly where I don't want to be. Okay. Then is there like any like electronic store close?
Yes. There's plenty of electronic stores. There's one within spitting distance of wherever you are on any part of the station.
Okay. Can I like go into like a fucking like cell phone store or something and try to jury rig some of the phones to just like pop a little like electric explosive? Maybe. Okay.
Roll me a clever check. And if you have anything that would help you with like mechanical nonsensicalness, like just anything that would help to jury rig, I will let you apply that in here on this.
Okay. Clever.
Two things are going to happen for this. You'll make your check, and depending on how high or low it is, you'll make something, or you'll make something and get extra, or it will take you longer, but you will still make something.
Okay.
So nothing bad will happen unless you critically fail like double ones.
Don't say that. I don't want to roll now. Oh. Hey, okay.
That's good. Okay, so you rush into the electronics store, and there's one like literally just feet behind you. You're holding onto Marcus's arm, and you unconsciously drag him for like 2 or 3 steps, and he's standing at the edge of the store, and he's like, "What the fuck is happening?" And then you run in, and you just start grabbing stuff. You don't feel like you're actually looking at anything. You're just like, you just instinctively know, like, okay, I see this piece here, it must be this, and you just grab it and then crack it open with your hands. And you grab this other piece and then crack that one over your knee, and then grab this one and then rip the back part off of it. And you're pulling all of these pieces out of seemingly just random accoutrements. And Marcus is watching you do this, and he goes from horrified to like interested in what you're doing, but still concerned. It's just like, what the? And then he will walk over to you, make me, and you will get, no, you won't get bonuses on this, but make me a prep roll.
How do I do that again?
A prep roll is your highest ability, your highest core ability, and then a related ability that would help here, which in this particular case would be anything electronics related.
Anything electronics related.
Yes, I'm being more generous with it.
Okay. So bump me up a little bit. Hey.
Damn.
Cool. Okay. So you are going to count as having 2 prep. And you will also make... Wait, let me make sure that this is right. 7... 1, 2... Oh, okay. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4 prep.
4 prep on
And-
top of the 2, or 4 prep overall?
4 prep total. You get 4 prep total, and then as you're making this device, you realize it'll take a little bit of time, so you'll use your whole turn and have it ready by next turn.
Okay, cool. Can she just be kind of like crouched down making it though, to give her a little bit of cover?
Yeah, I'll say that you can have just a touch of cover as a treat.
Cool.
Lindis,
Like I say, like last thing, like yank Marcus's collar down, like not looking, just like get down, you idiot,
go.
down.
He ducks behind the counter awkwardly, just like, what's happening? What's happening? Why am I whispering?
Lindis is going to a hardware store.
Okay. There's easily a hardware store or hardware store equivalent within just couple feet.
Okay. I'm going to be making thermite. You guys have fun.
Thermite?
This is what happens. You let her have free reign of what store there is. She makes Molotovs, and nothing's gonna make thermite.
Okay. Roll me a clever check with, if you have a chemical special,
I don't.
I will allow you to bone it. Okay.
But I have the power of knowing that I've seen this on the internet before, probably.
Watch Nile Red.
That certainly makes you feel better. Warmer inside, in fact. Of course, you still roll really fucking good. So you are running through this hardware store, It's not as robust as like a full-on like construction warehouse, but as you're running through it, you're able to find a couple of pieces here, a couple of chemicals there. You're finding most of the pieces. You haven't found all of them. You'll need to make another check on your next turn, and to see if you can find all the pieces.
Okay. That's fine.
Cool.
Okay, so
Kaya.
this is tangent that I have to share
Yes.
because ADHD brain.
Yeah.
I am a child and I watch cartoons quite often that are meant for children. And
Good.
there's fucking on Netflix a Jurassic Park cartoon called Camp Cretaceous right now. And there's a character on there that reminds me so much of fucking Linda's because her entire shtick is she's like a YouTuber that does unboxing and how-to videos. And so she's just like survival whiz because she's done all of this shit for her show or seen it on YouTube.
Yeah, that's kind of the energy that Lindis has right now.
Don't encourage her.
She's gonna look up a compilation.
No,
for
encourage
her
me,
next turn.
please.
Piper's gonna be like, "Hey, I live on YouTube. I would have seen how it's made for all of this weird bullshit. I deserve
she's
a
like
plus
looking
one."
up like a YouTube, like how to make thermite.
Yeah.
Delightful. All right, Kaya, you are straddling your motorcycle, and you don't hear Ben Getty behind you anymore, but you're sure he's still there.
Death
feel
grip
him?
on your waist.
Yeah. I
He
can
is
feel him.
his death grip on your waist has become something that you're kind of used to at this point. But he's still there.
Okay. I thought you were gonna pull a fucking vanishing act on me. Okay, so how far away is this monster? It's on the ground level, right?
Yes, it is ground level with you, and you
Okay.
are. I'll say you're probably a couple hundred feet away. Not too far, but not too close, because you power slid, which kind of brought you to almost a halt.
Right. Damn, not effective, but damn, it was cool.
Yes.
Yeah. Would I just use my turn just to get there?
It depends on what you want to do. If you want to use your turn to get there and like wait to do something, you can. Or if you want to do something like try to ride your motorcycle and crash it into the thing, you can do that.
That's the plan, but I gotta fucking clear out everyone.
There's a straight enough shot. You'll make a check to bob and weave around people. The other thing is the terrain is a little bit choppy because the ground has debris, and closer to the creature it is broken. But you have seen a couple action movies in your time, and you've seen at least one monster, and you now know what your purpose is. you feel it on the wind. It's possible.
Is it possible? Alright, that's what she's gonna do.
Okay. Are you you're just gonna go?
Fuck, motherfucker. Ow. She's gonna fucking try it. She'll.
Okay. So go ahead and roll me a motorcycle check.
Okay, would I use clever for this? Help! Staler, stop it!
Whichever, I would say you could use clever because you aren't like in need of lightning fast reflexes at this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
So I will accept clever.
And Bengay device bonus? Yes or no?
That depends on what you want to do. So the Bengeti device makes your bike go very, very fast. Do you want to go very, very fast?
Ooh, I want to give them time to clear out, and there's obstacles, so probably not very, very fast.
Okay,
But
then I would
just
not
very
let
fast.
I would not let the bonus apply.
Okay. Oh boy, here we go. Got a 15.
That's a crit. So do you notice as you think about engaging the Bengeti device by just cranking the heat or cranking the throttle back, but you look down to the thermometer. thermal. You look down at the thermometer, and you can see that the engine heat is close to redlining. And then you remember, oh shit, the device is overheating. This is the meltdown that Bengetti was talking about. And then you look at the distance, and you look at the bike, and you kick back on the throttle, and the device at this point, you can feel it like trying to kick out more power, but it almost feels like it's unable to push more. It's overheated to the point where it has melted its own components. So you're going as fast as this bike could possibly go right now. But you're bobbing and weaving around all of these people. There's a couple of the gang members, a couple of the other workers, there's a couple of random civilians. And you get closer and closer and closer to this thing. How do you want to dismount? Or do you want to dismount? I don't want to be presumptuous.
Yes, I'd like to.
Okay.
I'd like to dismount with Bengetti in tow. Please.
Just suicide run, Kaya and the NPC.
Okay. So, are you going to tuck and roll off the bike?
Yeah. So I'm gonna shout like, yeah, probably just tuck and roll off the bike. And how far away is Lockhart though? Is it like far enough away from where she's gonna crash the thing that she's not gonna get hurt?
It's gonna be close, but you're not gonna hit Lockhart. You're not going to run into Lockhart, but
Okay.
Lockhart is about to be like 20 to 30 feet away from a 90-mile-an-hour motorcycle crash against something. So she'll probably be in some amount of danger, but no more so than she already was.
Okay, everything is fine then.
Danger's my middle name.
Okay, so yeah, she'll tuck and roll, fucking do her best, warn Bengetti, tuck and roll off this bike, letting it just crash right into the creature.
Okay, so
Whatever
for this
the fuck
tuck and
this
roll, you'll need
Mhm.
to make a tough check or a quick check.
Tough.
Actually, wait. Before I do that, I'll probably roll. I'm gonna roll a check for you
Oh.
because I'm gonna use. What is your tough defense?
Tough defense is 11.
Okay.
Why didn't you let the NPC off the bike first?
It's a long story, okay?
Oh,
This all happened within
okay.
half a second, okay?
oh, okay.
All of this has happened within like less than 5 seconds.
We just thought he was going to be on a test drive, then it turned out
Yeah.
he was going to be on the actual bike race, and then
Which turned
Alien
out-
showed up unexpectedly.
So you do the last bobbing and weaving you need. You have ratcheted the bike up to 80, 85, 90, and you can see the red lining on the thermometer. It is just ticking, and the needle is clicking up and up and up, faster and faster. And as you get close, you let go of the clutch, kick
Mhm.
entirely on the throttle, and then do this almost backwards tuck and roll where you wrap one arm around Bengetti's waist, so he's kind of like double tied around you, and then you dive onto your mechanical arm to take most of the impact, and you're trying to land on it and skid as best you can. And your tough defense is 11?
Yeah, but I get +1 crash armor from the helmet?
Yes, so that would be 12.
Okay.
Let me just see, and that's 1.
If
3,
your arm gets
5.
fucked up, it's okay. Legacy
Ow.
has bonuses in cybernetics, she can fix it.
Yeah.
So, Rolo, I am trying to kill people. So as you grab Bengetti and jump off the bike, you land on your arm, and immediately you can't hear anything. You can't see anything. You close your eyes as tight as you possibly can. There's sparks everywhere. You can feel the heat. You feel the heat through the base of your prosthetic where it connects to your body. from just contact, the contact friction. You're kind of skidding for a little bit on your arm and your side, and then there's a thump, and you flip. And as you flip, you tuck Bengetti like into the inside of your arm, or your arms, so he's kind of like stuck in the middle, and you're bear hugging him, and you are now tumbling end over end, rolling across the concrete. It hurts so bad, but ultimately you did not take even a fraction as much damage as you should. Thankfully to your armor, you tumble end over end and come to a screeching halt. Probably like 200, no, not 200, probably about 70, 170, 75 to 100 feet to the side. When you jumped off the bike, you were jumping off almost parallel with Lockhart. It's like Lockhart, you have this weird moment where you are like holding these two creatures with a rebar spear bat, and then you look to the right, and in slow motion you see a motorcycle just careening towards this creature, and off of it jumps a tall woman with a mechanical arm and what appears to be late 70s spaceman, cradled on like hugged to her chest. They go rolling down the street. Kaya,
Yeah?
roll me 10d6.
Ooh. It's a good thing she has her will. 33.
Okay. So that bike
Mhm.
crashes into the creature, and there's this moment where it's just, and then you hear the crunch and the metal grinding and tearing itself, and the motorcycle doesn't like hit it and bounce off and like reel over top of it. It hits it and then starts to top of it, but it gets stuck inside it, and it starts to be pulled. And then there's this brief pause as right about when it totally subsumes the frontmost tire, you stop sliding, and you're on your side, and your head pounds like crazy, and you can see just blurry figures in the distance. Because for the last, see this thing eating your bike, and then Lockhart,
Yes.
what is your quick defense?
Quick defense is 9.
9. Okay. I have a question. This is something that I will open to the rest of the group. Do you want me to keep track of health and damage, or do you want to keep track of that yourself?
We have health.
It works in a very strange way. But the gist of it is you have like levels of damage you can take, and every time you hurt, you fill up the lowest level. Unless you get, in which case you fill up multiple levels.
Oh, is that the...
Yes, those are your harm up and up.
Where's the harm? Oh, there it is.
So if you look at it, you can see minor injury, harm, serious harm, and then incapacitated. Trust me to keep track of the damage. I will, because there's not a really good way to... Well, let me see.
Would you be keeping track of it on our pages or like on your own notes kind of thing?
Place on your pages that has it. I didn't
Yeah.
realize that. I didn't think just gonna keep it on notes that I have here. All right. Well, yeah. You got then mark the 3 and 4 harm box, and locked. Mark the 1 and 2, or the 1 2 harm box.
Would my armor help at all here? The covert armor?
Ooh, it does. It does. So you're only marking.
Okay.
Happening.
Do I have anything else here that would help? That tank is only for, yeah.
So this motorcycle explodes. It is a reddish fireball with blood that billows out of it. Something incredibly volatile that was thrown into the mix, whether it came from the creature's device, is a mystery, and it will forever be a mystery as the creature is subsumed in a black plume. Lockhart, as that explosion happens, you're holding on to that rebar, and the shockwave hits. You feel a little bit of singe and heat, but the shockwave throws you a good 10 feet. But because you have that thing, that rebar hooked around two of these creatures, you fly, hold onto it, it snaps and yanks, or it snaps taut and then starts to pull on those creatures. It basically brings their heads together, and you hear this like weird, like sharp, like crinkling, like two pieces of broken glass being like shoved together. And they're just, again, continuing to stumble, but you feel a pop, and you're not sure if it was your arm or something else, but you're thrown onto the ground, and you do a little bit of a tumble, but you like the armor took a brunt of that force explosion, so you right yourself and spin around and take a knee, so you're half upright, and this creature is just filled with smoke. And as you kind of right yourself, you look up at this thing, and you can see that one of those metallic creatures that looks human shaped is on the ground, just totally out. It's flopped onto the ground, and it's starting to become more amorphous and less human shaped. The cable that was connected to its head gone, while the other one is awkwardly righting itself as well. Not in a way that a human would, where it pushes itself up and stands. Rather, it is like its legs begin to melt and reform such that it just propagates itself upward.
Huh.
That was Kaya's turn, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Now it's the creature's turn. I need to be careful not to say its name because I have its name right here.
Change it to creature for the time being.
So this thing, it's not dead, but inside the smoke, you can hear this like crunching, guttural, like deep, throaty echo. It sounds like almost like an air raid siren that was that's been broken in some way. And from the three creatures that were hit, only the one that you pulled with the rebar, Lockhart, is down. The other two seem unaffected. The one that is standing upright, though, it is going to start to lumber towards you, and you hear this like sloshing of its feet, which aren't fully formed yet, as it lurches forward, and it is going to try and grab you. So, go ahead. Huh?
I just... I know what it did to the fucking Red Bull can. I don't want to know what it's gonna do touching a person.
Yeah, it's not gonna be good. Okay, so what is your... Let me see. Melee attack. Cool. What is your tough defense?
My tough defense is 11. I also have tough defense specialty. I don't know if that factors in here.
Yeah, so your tough defense specialty specialty is a +1, so it would make your tough defense go up by 1.
Okay, so 12 then.
Cool.
Yeah.
So this thing lurches for you. You're not entirely sure what it's trying to do, except get its hands on you, and you know better. Your reflexes just kick in, and you grab that rebar that's still just barely within reach. You grab it, spin it up, and whack at its arms. And its arms, like, they bend at this weird oblique angle, like, because there's no bones in there. You hit something that felt like a waterbed. It kind of makes your hand hurt from the end of the rebar stick, but its arms are bent in this totally incorrect angle, and it staggers backwards a second, and then looks down at its arms, or imagine it looking down at its arms, whereas it doesn't have any eyes or nose or features, and it starts to form. You hear that crinkling and like broken glass being skittered across the ground. And the other two, there's one going for Kaya, and there's one... Well, no, the other ones are... Everyone else is hidden, so... I don't think it sees either of you.
Random
Okay.
civilian number 96 is gonna get a really bad day.
So, at like one of these creatures starts stumbling towards where Kaya and Ben-Gedi are. The other is walking towards just the crowd of people. You can see that there's a couple of biker gangers who are still around. Some of them just unsure of what to do. One of them pulls out a gun and is going to take a pot shot at it.
Oh.
Did you think he's going to shoot you?
No, I thought the creature pulled out a gun.
Oh no. This like kind of shaky looking thug gangster man pulls out what appears to be a simple handgun of some kind and points it with one arm and will open fire on it, and he is most likely not going to do a heck of a lot. Oh, that was a lot of damage. All right, so he pulls this gun out, and you hear this, and it's a way louder and more jarring than you had realized that tiny gun would be. And part of this creature, Terminator style, like splatters in this weird frozen way, and it like its shoulder like throws back, and its other shoulder throws back, and then its gut gets punched in as these rounds hit it. But they don't go through it; they stick into it, and the area around where the bullet impacts is just this weird, like bubbled, warped area, and it's just going to reform slowly. The one that's going towards Kaya is going to take a while, and the one that is on the ground is going to attempt to reform. So, this one... I'm rolling really well tonight. This is awesome. Sort of, because I did shoot my own bad guy. So, on the ground, you can see this Lockhart. The one that you tore the cable out of, the one that you yanked the cable out of its head, it starts to shudder in this just disturbingly seizure-like way. And the top of it shudders for a moment, and then it just goes stock still. And then the top of his head starts to form a little antenna, and it grows and grows, and it's very slow, but it is making a second cable, and it's bending backwards to try and reach the core body.
God damn it.
Then it would be Lockhart, your turn.
Before Iris, it's your turn.
Okay.
How many are there?
4.
Okay, the one that got splat and is reforming is making a new cable, right?
Yeah, though there's one on the ground that is face down, seized a bit, and then went still, and a cable is starting to reform out of the top of its head.
Gotcha.
Then one tried to go for Lockhart and grab her, to which she broke its arms. One is walking towards a random ganger, and another is walking towards you.
Okay, so I want to clarify. Thank
Yeah.
you.
If that ganger hadn't rolled a fucking crit on his gun. Yeah, but Lockhart.
Well, at least the cable, like, stops it for a little bit, but I think taking out the big part is gonna be the... How is it not dead? It's on fire! Something...
It's sort of subsumed in a smoky cloud. You can see a little bit of flames eking out, but
Okay.
it's the main body obscured.
Okay. How close is, like, another one that's not connected, besides the one that's right next to me?
Probably with one that you watched to the side, shot 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
That one, it's easily within distance for you to run over to it and attack it if that's what you want to do.
I more want to try and get them all together in my range, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Because keeping as many people out would probably be the best. And the one on the floor, it's not doing a connect, right?
Correct.
How how quickly is the little cable bit going for?
Not quickly. It is quickly enough that you can see it grow and extending, like in
Well, what I want to try doing here is hooking the enemy again. I did last time,
Mm-hmm.
but step on the cable and pull up with the hook to try and disconnect.
Oh, okay. All right. So roll me first an attack to hit, and then roll me
Okay.
another one to this will be like basically a strength check to yank the cable if you latch onto it.
Yeah. Okay. And I can do tough for this, right?
Yes, tough to hit.
Awesome.
16, 14. Okay, so they move slow. They're very sharp and they have some very strange properties, but you haven't seen them move faster than like the slowest zombie on TV. So you just step and quickly wrap the hooked end of that rebar around the cable. You yank down, put your foot on top of it, and start to pull with the rebar straight up. Roll me a tough check to try and yank this thing. Do you have anything relating to just raw? I will let your melee.
Okay.
If you had something like that was explicitly like lifting, pulling, something that explicitly made you better at that.
Martial arts would be grab, so that wouldn't really. Yeah, no, I don't have anything like that. Though I have hand-to-hand combat.
You're applying. Not apply for this unless you grab with your hand, which you can do.
No. So it's just the
tough and 6.
Okay. Hey.
That's a crit. So when you roll doubles in this game, it is a crit. If it's a high number, it is a crit success. If it's a low number, it's a crit fail. So typically if you roll like double 2s, you're not likely to succeed.
Uh-huh.
But You roll double fives, which is a crit. So you like wrap this thing around the rebar, pull it to the ground. Its head kind of bends back a little bit because it's being pulled, almost like you pull on someone's ponytail. It's like scraping the air for purchase, but it can't get any. You put your boot on top of that thing, and you get this weird sensation, like you feel it squirming with your boot like a live snake. But that just makes you disturbed and angry, which invigorates you. So you yank as hard as you possibly can, and there's and then the thing slack to its side, and it begins to bend further and further back as it's all and it's limp. And you feel the cable underneath you start to go like a fish on a line. It's like frantically wiggling. But when you take your boot off, oh, okay.
Yeah. Keep your foot on it.
And that's your turn. Legacy successfully made an impromptu like an EE, a very localized EMP. Something like a very high intensor.
Yeah, we'll try the EMP. Am I use these? Like, I got prep now. I don't know why I have
The prep is collecting materials, and you can use that for whatever abilities.
Okay, gotcha.
Also have the prep that you can spend on whatever abilities.
Okay. Pop my head back over like the wall. What?
You poke your head over the counter and look back to see one of the non-biker ganger people gun and shot times at one, and it hurt in any way. It's continuously marching toward.
So
that is close.
okay.
See, you can keep triumphantly holding a rebar sword, like slightly above her head, with a limp creature folded over, doing like a reverse bridge.
Okay. So we're gonna see how these things handle electricity. So she's gonna kind of sneak a little bit closer, hoping biker dude is going to be more than enough distraction to make it not notice her. And she is going to try to toss her thing at this thing and this creature and see how that goes.
Okay. That would be quick if you want to throw it.
Okay.
Or tough. I would let you roll tough if you just want to fucking bean it at this creature.
We're doing quick. Does my +1 to attack dreamers help me here?
Yes, it does.
Okay. I guess parkour is not going to be very helpful here. So that's that.
You wanted to like parkour getting this thing.
No, the flashy movement not going to be high. So I kind of want if it take cover, you make them, then you dive for cover.
So roll in a while. Head and over the counter, and then you put the phone on, which starts off. So you back, and practice, and this is it's just opened a moment, and this creature takes the biker, and then doesn't seem meaningful, and then this creature's it doesn't turn towards you like a person, forms into a reforms so that it's bodily facing directly towards you.
No.
And after it's like entirely focused its attention on you, after it's turned, you hear the last the thing erupts in its head, and there's this like white blue flash. And roll me 66.
Okay. You see, huh? B6. E.
Perfect. Okay. So this white blue crackling, like a fiercely loud pop that kind of gives you this tingly crackling sensation in the back of your ear. It's almost blinding for a brief second. But you're ducking behind the countertop for cover, shield your eyes, and you look back up just to see the results of your handiwork. And you see that creature, part of its face is entirely gone. It's got like a third or almost 40% of its face, or not face, head, probably 30 to 40% of its head just gone. And in the spot where it was, like the guy shot it with bullets, your impact with that tiny shock, it has left this like blackened scar residue, sort of like when you hit something with a lightsaber, like when you cut somebody's arm with a lightsaber, how it just sears the wound.
Mhm.
It looks like that phone bomb went off and the wound seared, and it just wavers there for a second, and it doesn't go down, but it seems to be like it's really going through it right now. You can see the little antenna cable is still intact, but it's like right on the edge of where that crust spot starts.
Mm. And it doesn't seem
And
to
this-
be reforming at all at the moment.
No, it does not.
Ooh.
Uh,
Just turns to Marcus. Get me more of that shit.
Marcus just like nods, just goes, okay. What the fuck? And he just like he says mostly to himself, and then like crawls awkwardly along the floor, just like scraping random pieces of tech together. He does not go about it in the like precise manner that you did. He's just kind of like, I think she needs this, and this one, oh fuck, I don't know. But that is your turn. Lindis, you're running through the chemical place.
Yep.
So roll me another check.
Okay.
Clever check.
Ooh.
God damn it!
Ooh.
What the fuck?
Maximum roll, baby. And it's a
All
crit.
right.
No. She makes C4.
Okay.
Oh no, Thermite's
Oh.
much hotter than C4.
Oh shit.
Mhm.
God damn, okay.
Thermite burns at over 4,000 degrees.
So-
Alright, the Breaking Bad
What
episode.
type of YouTube were you on recently, Piper?
The
I watched
1,000
Burnout.
degree knife versus X thing. Okay. Okay, I'm going to offer you a choice, Piper. You can
Okay.
get the rest of the chemicals you need to start making the thing,
Okay.
or you can get something good that is entirely unrelated to what you were doing before. You would find something worth a double 6.
So I either get the Thermite or I get the good thing. I'll take the Thermite, thank you.
Okay, so you you literally stop partway through the store and you're like, wait, what do I need? And then you pull up on your phone that one YouTube video you watched by that
Yep.
weird survivalist guy who has like
Yep.
a weird tattoo on the back of his head.
Yep.
He seems really nice, and he goes over his anti-government speech and why you should always have the components for thermite on hand, but in separate rooms of the house. He goes down the laundry list, to which you go on a brief shopping spree.
Yep.
And you happen to find everything within the next couple seconds.
Perfect.
That will be your turn. Kaya.
Hello.
So,
Big
Kaya, you are sideways on the ground and your head is spinning. Your arm, the metal arm, you don't have like direct sensory input to this metal arm. You can feel like sensation and touch, but it's not built so that the pain will ever be problematic so much as if something is hurting, it is meant to tell you that there's a warning for the material. You can't feel any warning signs going off. It feels hot. And you're laying entirely on it. It's just right against the concrete. You can see a streak of black scrapes from where presumably you were, and Ben Getty is still like coddled tight inside of your arms. You can't see his face, but you can see the helmet's cracked.
Oh no.
Oh shit. Oh no 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 no. Okay, looking around, how close is the thing?
It will reach you on its turn.
Okay, so
You-
like right
you-
after this turn.
Yes. So
Okay.
you have this round before it gets to you.
Jostle Bengetti, tell him to run. Is he responding?
You jostle Ben Getty and try to get his attention, and you get no response.
Fuck. Okay. What's the nearest, longest, fucking tire iron shaped object around her?
You can see a parked semi truck that's been just left on the street side, or not a semi truck, like a worker's truck, like an electrician's truck.
Mm-hmm.
So you see the compartments on the side, and you're dead certain you've seen 1,000 of those. There's all sorts of weird shit in there. There's like fucking tire irons and Dremels and drills. Sometimes there might be a saw of some kind. There's all sorts of violent shit in there.
Okay. She's gonna get a violent shit from there. Is there any way to like... This is like... How real world is this? If she were to drag Bengetti, would that like make it a lot worse, like in real life?
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Just for the purposes of this being like a fun work of fiction, and I don't know
Okay.
enough about it to apply that accurately.
Okay. Well, she's gonna try and like move him as far as she can away from the thing, while also being able to grab a weapon to defend the two of them.
hmm
It's like, so as far as you'll allow it, she will move him.
So I'll say that you can, like, dragging him, you
Mhm.
can get to that vehicle, but
Okay.
it will still, that creature will still get to you on its turn.
Okay. Yeah, but she'll grab something to defend herself, right?
Yeah, so you drag Ben Getty. You'll have to let him go so that you can stand up and, like, rummage through the truck.
Mm-hmm.
Roll me, this will be your prep roll, which you're going to roll clever, and you can add your engineering to this because you're like working through a truck that belongs to an engineer.
Okay. So, be clever +1. The scavenger? No, scavenger doesn't apply, right? No.
The scavenger does
Scavenger?
for workshop.
Yeah, it's workshop stuff. All right.
What does scavenger do?
You just always have some tools on you.
I'll say you
the-
can get a +1 because you have scavenger.
The actual like text
Yeah.
for it is with a day's worth of work in one cache, you can turn any private area into a workshop. You can do this
Yeah.
as part of a personal prep roll. Your workshop stays that way until you suffer an economic shock.
Yeah,
Oh.
so I don't think this would apply
Okay, fair.
as much as I would like to let you give me it.
Yeah, I mean
Okay.
it's supposed to like apply to like if we're throwing stuff together,
Mhm.
but not so much finding stuff. I think.
I don't like that they called it scavenger, but go on. It will not apply for this.
Yeah, I think I've just mostly used it to like to say like, yeah, she's got a bunch of like little tools like magnetic on her arm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
Yeah,
clever.
that's the
+1.
reason that both Kaya and Legacy
9.
have a whole bunch of random shit in their rooms is because they both have scavenger.
Yeah, you said you wanted the single digit roll.
Okay. So you stand up and you grab the handle and pull on the little cabinet on the outside edge of the truck. It's locked.
Fuck.
you can try to break the lock with one of your tools on your arm. Well,
Nah,
you
she's in a suit.
I say that.
Yeah.
You go to look for the tools on your arm, and they are gone, and in the place of your arm is a massive black screech. Just this sheer scratched, like intense damage to your arm. It is functional, but barely.
Can she punch with it?
Yes.
Okay. Looks like that's what she's got.
Okay.
I know what Legacy's going to be working on for the next week.
Yeah. I don't think she can do anything else, right?
You could try to open the lock with
Hmm.
just in some way. You could try to like just bash it open.
Smash the window with a metal arm.
There's
Oh,
also
yeah.
that.
Window, I
Also
forgot.
rubble.
Huh?
Isn't there also like a shit ton of rubble around too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's rocks and just debris everywhere.
Yeah. Just
Just a
fucking just
suggestion.
break window or just follow a mystery person over there, grab rebar if it doesn't work
Okay.
out. So
Okay.
punch
So
window.
you grab the handle, yank on it. It's locked. You think quickly and you're just like fuck it, and you just wheel a metal hammer fist directly through the window. It just shatters. There's no roll for that. Roll me 2d6 as a luck check.
Already, I forgot I have a button for this. Oh wow!
Oh no.
You see what
Oh,
happens when you ask for us to roll lower, Joe? You see what happens?
You bash the window in,
Mm-hmm.
and the car alarm goes off. That's it.
Okay.
It's really loud and annoying and just piercing your ears, but other than that, you're not sure if it's doing anything bad. But the car, it's open.
Oh, okay. I thought it was. I thought it was just the alarm.
No, you broke the window and you have
Okay.
access to the inside of the car.
Okay. Well, she's gonna grab the fucking biggest tool for whacking shit she can. Giant wrench, tire iron. She's familiar with those, but open
Fucking
to whatever
shovel.
there is. Shovel, fucking pickaxe, Minecraft sword, whatever the fuck is in there.
What about one of those like locks for the steering wheel? This old school.
Yeah, like what, like the weird extended bar thing. Okay, I will
Whatever you
say
allow
I will
is metal
say
thing.
you can roll. Actually, just roll to search the car.
What do I roll?
Clever.
That would be clever or quick to like,
Clever.
yeah. So clever to search the car and find anything useful.
Do I still get the +1 for engineering or just straight clever?
Yeah, I'd say you still get the +1 for engineering because you know where stuff would be in this car.
We all have the same protocol.
Wow,
Like,
you're
done.
lucky.
Just kidding.
That is-
Exact opposites.
That is the only thing that would fix the double ones. The double ones, I was like, will she find anything immediately? No, she finds nothing. In fact, she's annoyed now. She has to deal with the car alarm, which is still going off. It's not going away. But you tear the door open, and inside the door, you can see like a fold-out knife. You can see a small hand wrench. You see the keys are still in the ignition, like one of these rental trucks. And
shit.
then your eyes are scanning, and then you spot it, like a golden, like Gandalf on the horizon. You see hung on the back window a crowbar and a fire axe.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Dual wield. Dual wield.
Is that a thing she could do?
Yeah, if you want.
Okay.
Also, keep in mind the keys are in there. We could have another car bomb. Just saying.
Good.
Kaya, get in and wreck that one too.
Fucking showsman getting in there, starts the car.
Or just run. That too.
Yeah. Oh, it probably absorbed the car though, unless it's going to explode. I think, unfortunately. Okay,
But
yeah.
yeah, you find that full-sized red crowbar a la Half-Life 2, and you find a bright red, like, balsa wood handle, just beautifully crafted, waiting to find a skull fire axe.
Oh, they're even red.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
yeah. She will arm herself.
you reach in and grab both of those, and then, like, withdraw from the cabin, and that thing is right in front of you. And that will be where your turn finishes.
Mhm.
And this creature starts to lurch. Actually, okay, all right. So this creature lumbers towards you. What is your tough defense?
I think it's 12 right now.
12. All right. So you, having just found these weapons, this creature's like this creature's slow gait and kind of awkward, like, stumbling nature, it reaches forward totally off balance, and you take one big step with your left foot and swing both the fire axe and the crowbar, like, in parallel with each other, and wail on it. And you cut off one. You will not cut completely off. You chop into one arm about halfway through it, and it goes limp. And you smack the other arm, and it just spins at this awkward, gross angle. You don't hear any bones cracking, but you just whack the fuck out of its arms. And it just, again, it like takes one. It leans back a little bit, and then the arms are starting to be absorbed into its body as two new arms simultaneously grow out of its chest. Now we'll go over to... Well, there's two that are regenerating now. So that's... Yep. So the one on the ground, Lockhart, you can see the cable getting longer and starting to get closer to the smoke. It's about 10 feet away from the smoke. And the other one that's under your boot, it can't get out from under your boot. You can feel it thrashing and whipping underneath your shoe. This thing is so, like, violently trying to get out from underneath the boot. It is almost a little unnerving. It feels like these slow and methodical and lethargic things have this wildly pent up ferocity for some reason, and it's like it's not able to express itself, but you can see it expressed here, if only for the fact that it's thrashing underneath your heel like a mad, angry, trapped alligator. It's a bit concerning. Then the one for Legacy, it, in a rare... Actually, hold on. It's 3... Okay. Legacy, what is your quick defense?
And then remember, I'm also behind cover if you're doing any type
Yes.
of ranged shit, so that does something.
Yes.
I forget.
I will have disadvantage to hit you.
My quick defense is 11.
Okay. So you're ducked behind the countertop, and Marcus crawls back over and he just goes, "What the fuck is happening? What are those things?" And right in the middle of his sentence, you hear this, and then over the top of the counter, you see this thing latch on like it tackled it. And its head is now way too close to you. It has thrown itself at you and lunged at the desk. It didn't hit you, but it is now face to face with you, and you get to see up close and personal the shifting metal shards that move around on its weird skin, and you can see that crusted black burned spot where your phone bomb went. and it is more or less imposed itself sort of between you and Marcus, where you're ducked behind the cover and it's leaning over it, and Marcus is on the other side.
100%. All the rest of you just hear Legacy scream.
But it didn't hit you. And the one is already fucked with Kaya.
That is
Then
about as accurate as you can fucking get, Iris.
So, Lockhart, you see that ganger with the gun. At this point, the streets are basically empty, save for you and your cohort. You see that ganger with the gun. He hits the side of it a couple more times, and he just goes, "Fuck this!" Throws it on the ground and just turns and runs. And then it will be your turn, Lockhart.
Okay. I have an idea.
Okay, I'm all for it. I love ideas.
Idea.
I haven't fully thought it out. Just give me a quick second to see how this would actually work, because this might actually be a bad thing. So these things are made of, like, how would you best describe what they're made of? Because you say glass, but then bubbly, and then I'm a bit confused, I
Sorry.
guess.
The main core of the creature is this big, like, blobby flesh mass with these shards of metal poking out of it.
Okay.
The shards of metal, the shrapnel and pieces of metal, it looks like broken glass, the way that it's jagged and cut.
Okay.
And the broken pieces of metal flow around the skin, kind of obfuscating any sort of easy visual of what it would look like. It literally looks like like if you took silly putty and threw it into metallic colored glass shards. It is this sharp amoeba, and then these people-shaped ones are just they're the same exact type of creature. It's just literally just like Terminator 2.
I haven't seen Terminator,
I haven't
so.
seen it
Oh,
either.
you're missing
Oh
out.
my
It's great.
god.
Terminator 2.
The
Terminator?
the liquid thing.
Okay, Terminator 2 liquid thing.
But they still are sharp.
They yes,
what-
on the outside of its body, it is the metal shrapnel is sharp.
Chrome dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Oh.
The T-1000s, I think, is what they are.
1000 scene? Oh, Jesus Christ, this is horrifying.
Yeah, just imagine that, except instead of it looking like a cop, it's always the metal weird liquidy thing, and it's sharp all over. And then there's 4 of them.
Jesus.
These things didn't feel very weighty, right?
They feel less heavy than you'd think they should, given that their outside looks to be almost entirely metal. They don't have
Okay.
when you hit them, they don't have the weight of something that is just like you would expect hitting them to feel like hitting a fucking like suit of armor.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like that. It feels like you're hitting like a sack of flour almost. It's got some weight to it, but not nearly as much as you would expect.
So, would it be possible with the makeshift weapon to kind of hook onto that tendril that's almost connected and kind of spaghetti swirl it? Is the best way to put it.
Yeah, you should try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can fucking reach over with that. So I will say, for you to reach it, you'd have to get your foot off of the tendril that you're stepping on. It is too far away for you to reach without taking a foot off of it.
Okay.
You could grab the one beneath your foot and try to hold onto it with one hand and then go to spaghetti the other one.
But sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I have an idea, and I think Joe knows what I want to do, but I also feel like it'd be a really, really bad idea.
What's the idea?
You know what? Everyone talks about these chaos rolls.
Chaos roll? Chaos roll!
Chaos roll.
Let
Joe?
chaos reign.
High
Yeah?
or low?
High. Actually low. It's low. Yeah.
Okay. Well, here goes nothing, right?
All right.
I am going to grab the tendril,
Mm-hmm.
not the one below my foot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to grab the other one that's trying to connect
Okay.
with my left hand.
So you want to grab the one that's trying to go and connect back to the main mass of flesh?
But it's not connected yet, right?
Correct. It is not connected yet. So it is too far for you to reach without having to move towards it, which
Okay.
would lift. You'd
Well,
have to lift
yeah,
your foot
yeah,
off
yeah.
of the thing.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. So
Mm-hmm. So you want to rush over and just grab the one that's about to get back there.
I'll spaghetti swirl it first, I think, and then like touch it on that when it's on the weapon. I think would be a better idea, just for safety.
So I will say, if you try to spaghetti swirl it and then grab it, it would be 2 rolls as opposed to just grabbing it with your hand.
I'm not trying to grab it. I just want to touch it.
Oh, just touch it. Okay,
Yeah.
that would make the roll extremely easy, but you'd still have to do 2. You'd have to do 1 to spaghetti swirl it and 1 to touch it. But touching it would
Okay.
be easy.
Okay. Yeah, I wanna just spaghetti swirl it essentially.
Cool. So you look down at the one beneath your foot, and you look at the one that's reaching back towards that main flesh, and you're just like, shit. You run over, and you spin the rebar in your hand. You look down at it, look up at this thing, and instead of swinging it like a baseball bat, you swirl it in this big circular gesture. You whack the end of that tendril and scoop, and then scoop faster and make that swirling motion faster. Roll me a quick check, and I will give you a +1 because you still have a weapon.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay.
With the +1, so it's a 9.
It's a 9. So, I will let you choose. You can either let it escape the spaghetti swirl, or you can have it successfully spaghetti swirled, but you take there's a consequence.
So either let it go or good, and there's a consequence.
Yeah, you either don't get what you want. You either fail the spaghetti swirl. You still have the rest of your turn. You can still try to touch it with your hand, but you wouldn't have the spaghetti swirl effect on. Or you could successfully have spaghetti swirled it, but you'll have a consequence to deal with in some way. And of course, I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just.
Well, I wasn't trying to attack it. I was just trying to like breach the distance was the goal. I don't know if that was clear.
It wouldn't change the nature of trying to spaghetti swirl it because you're not
Okay.
using tough to just
Yeah.
wail on it.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'll take the consequence.
Okay, yes, and the bad thing. All right, so you rush over, swirl it around, and it kind of swirls exactly like a single thick spaghetti noodle that's very weirdly sharp. And you're holding onto it. This is the one that is growing out of that creature, not out of the core mass. So it swirls. You swirl it around the pipe, and you look back at the one that you had taken your foot off of, and it's not there. And you blink for a second. You're like, what? And then you look down at your shoe, and it's still underneath your shoe. And you feel a sharp pain in the bottom of your foot.
Ooh. Ooh. Oh no.
You still have the rest of you. You still have the touch thing that you can do.
Yeah, I basically want to put my left hand, like, brush my fingers along it, essentially.
Along
Not
the spaghetti one, or the one under your shoe?
the one that is not connected to the giant mass.
Okay, so the spaghetti one.
Yes.
All right. Roll me. This would count as a melee attack, but you would not be dealing damage if you you would not like. You're not hitting it like you would. It's not a typical melee attack, but I'll count it as one.
But would hand-to-hand combat come in hand with that?
Hand-to-hand combat, yes.
Okay.
Hand-to-tentacle combat.
So with this, so how do I roll this? Is this tough, right? Then.
Yes, it would be tough.
Okay, just making sure. And I'm adding this 3 for hand-to-hand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. So you have it spaghettied on your rebar, your trusty rebar. The one in your foot is starting to hurt. You kind of have to take weight off of your foot now. But you look at the one that's attached to that creature, and you just reach your hand over and barely touch it, because you can see that there's the sharp spikes on the outside of the metal, the shrapnel and shards of metal. So you reach up and just graze it with your fingers. It hurts. It feels like you got a paper cut. But there's this moment where you hear like this contact spark, and then you see that the I don't know if that was like a probing gesture.
Yeah. Essentially.
Yes, but it does when you take your hand away, those little sparks and static that shot off of your hand, you can see singed marks where you made contact.
Perfect.
Okay. And that will be your turn.
Yep.
Legacy. There's a thing, a half-headed fucking thing in front of your face.
This is probably a no, but I'm gonna ask anyway. Can she just, because there's like technically like taser phone cases.
Mm-hmm.
Could she just like blindly shove something into like a battery pack and like stab it into this thing and try to like tase it essentially with a battery pack?
Roll me a luck check.
No.
Okay. So you can grab random things and try grab 2 random nearby objects and try to make something without any preparation to like shove it into his face. If you still want to do that.
Can I sacrifice a prep to say it happens?
I will let you sacrifice... Wait a minute. Yes. You can only do this once with one prep, but you can sacrifice a prep and you like freak out, your hand reflexively reaches to your side, and the way that you're ducked behind the counter, you feel this rectangular thing with a switch on one side and a safety mechanism where you're like basically near your trigger finger. And in your mind, you immediately recognize that sensation. You've seen these before, 11 times as a matter of fact. So you grab it, whip it directly into the creature, and you can roll me an attack roll using Clever instead of any other normal stat, and I will give you a boost on it.
Mm.
You didn't even fucking need the boost, but go ahead and roll it anyway. You get an extra d6.
Oh. No, why did I do that? So it'll be the 3. So it'll be 12.
It's a 3. No, so a boost is you get 3d6 added together. Advantage is 3d6,
Oh.
take the highest.
The
So
boost.
you got a 14.
14.
So you grab this thing you're not sure what it is, but you have an idea. You stab it into its face and pull the trigger. And you like there is a second blue flash and a loud like this horrifyingly frightening crackling noise from the edge of your fingers, and you shoved a... It's not a phone case taser. This is the underside of the counter. This is someone's personal taser that was left here. It is just a normal weaponized taser that you have shoved into this thing's face. Roll me another 6d6. Actually, 4d6, not 6.
4? Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Jesus. So after that flash of blue, there is a smell of burned cabling and melted rubber. And when you pull the taser, well, you don't pull it away. Rather, you let go of the trigger, and you hear the popping stop, and you look at that thing, and the other side of its head is blackened. You made like you've caved a hole from one side of its head through to the other side that was already burned. And there's a moment where you're not sure what's going to happen, and it tilts its head a little bit, and then that cable, having no support on it, you're not nearly enough support on it, crumbles and comes loose, and it starts to be withdrawn. And that thing just sags, and its arms start to droop, almost like a water balloon when you hold it in like only part of it. It starts to droop, and weight starts to ooze into the front of its arms. It's still in front of you. It's just not moving.
She wants to nope out. She wants to shove Marcus, and they're going.
Marcus, I'm gonna roll a check for Marcus really quick because he wants to be the big hero.
Oh no.
Okay, so he, seeing you scream and then that thing get tased, he takes it as like having been immobilized, and you see this moment where, like that flash, Marcus is not in your immediate vision, and you're kind of getting that like recovery to your eyesight because it's dark inside this store. And after a second, you see Marcus reared back with a stool, and he whacks it, and you hear what sounds like a wet lump like flop to the side, and its arms drag along the ground, and you hear the broken glass of the storefront and different other debris being dragged alongside it. And Marcus, the stool that Marcus is holding, is bent at some ungodly angle, totally not sit-inable anymore. And he's just like, he does not look as heroic as he thinks he is. He looks freaked the fuck out and has circles under his eyes now. And he looks over to you and just goes, "Holy shit."
Yeah. Let's go. Run.
You take him and run out of the store. You run out into the street and you can see who you don't recognize. You see the host of the race. She is currently killing two of them by the look of it. There's two, one on the ground, on this, like, off to the side, probably about 15 feet away from her, and then one, like, she has wrapped up near this, with this, like, rebar club, and she's stepping on another one, like the cable of another one. She looks like a fucking, it's like Sigourney Weaver action hero.
And can I
Lindis,
see past her to Kaya now?
Kaya would be a little bit further away, but when you turn and look, you can see Kaya, like, cracking her neck, holding a crowbar and an axe in either hand. And Kaya looks like shit. There's, like, blood on the side of her face. Ben-Gedi, you can't see Ben-Gedi from this angle, but her arm, from this distance, half of it or more is entirely scraped black.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Okay.
Hey.
Hello.
But
Cut out. Sorry.
it's all good. What did you hear last?
I heard Lindis and then, like, nothing.
I
sorry.
interrupted him with a question.
Okay.
And
Yes. So
then I was just gonna say, can I do like one last like scream towards Kaya, just like Kaya, electricity?
yeah, you can just free action, just yell at her that electricity.
That's all she says. Now if Kaya figures out what the fuck that means is a different question, but
Okay. Now we move to Lindis. You have found your chemicals, and you can begin to make your thermite concoction.
your Linda's just gonna
Piper
melt
says
the
perfect.
fucking like.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Yeah, I said perfect.
Gonna melt the whole station.
Can I use either VTuber or social media? Because I'm watching a YouTube guide.
I will let you use social media. Explicitly because you crit last time. Which is so ridiculous.
Oh
Ah.
no.
Okay. So I'll offer you a choice. You can make it.
Okay.
You can get it with a consequence, make it but something bad happens, or you can not make it and have the rest of your turn.
I'll take the consequence.
Okay. So what the fuck? What are you cats doing? What is this violence that I hear in the background? I just hear, like, what sounds like furniture being slammed, and you're too small to do that. Okay, sorry. I was very concerned for a second. So, Lindis, you look at the chemicals. You've watched that video enough. You watched it at least twice, and you take it and you're like, okay, cool. I think we need this potted plant, and you put it in the potted plant because the ceramic will hold it so that it contains a little bit better. And then you just throw all the shit in there, and you just stir it. So you start doing that, and it seems to be going pretty well. And that will be the end of your turn.
You're really dragging out my getting thermite, aren't you?
You don't understand how incredibly powerful this will be the moment you start to employ it. Because if you do what I think you're going to do,
You think
I
I'm gonna get it up
assume
to the main body and ignite it all?
yes,
You're correct.
yeah. So I'm making it take a while.
I'll say, by the way, I'm gonna just shout out, Legacy, get me a drone.
Drone. Drone. Fucking. Okay.
Shut up and do it!
The fucking electronics store, the little tiny drones you get at Best Buy.
I just ran out. There's something in that store. I gotta find another.
No, wait!
Kaya, you hear a bunch of screaming and fussing, and then you hear electricity. And you look, and you can see Legacy in the street, looking very stressed out, with Marcus behind her, also very stressed out, carrying a stool for some reason. And then you snap back into it, and you see this creature still in front of you, regenerating its 2 arms.
Okay. It's her turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just meant with like awkward silence because I
Sorry.
was making this. I feel like I hope you guys appreciate it.
Oh no, what is it? That's perfect.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay.
Amazing.
Very nice.
Thank you. I just heard like electricity get called out. Fuck, I don't think she has any electricity on her.
You have that entire like utility truck behind you.
Oh, that's true.
I will say
Well-
for free, you definitely know that there's some stuff in there that could feasibly let you manipulate electricity to some extent. You'd have to be a little bit creative, but I mean, you think about it, you have keys in the ignition,
Mhm.
easily gonna have a pair of jumper cables.
Oh shit. Okay.
Stealing my idea. I see how it is.
Oh, was that your idea?
Oh, no,
sorry.
I'm mad at Joe, not you. Don't worry.
Oh. Okay. Well, I just heard that. Like, oh shit. Okay. Well,
It's all
fuck
good.
it. Jumper claver. Blah blah blah.
Jalapiclibby.
Jumper cablers. Jumper cables plus car. So like, she probably like where did she stash Ben Getty? Like as far as possible from this thing, right?
Tossed him into the passenger seat.
I assumed that you set Ben Getty down like towards the rear tire so that you could walk up to get to the cabinets that are typically on the like passenger the driver's side the seat behind the driver's side door.
Mhm.
But it was locked, so instead of moving Ben Getty, you went straight to the driver's seat and punched in the window, and now you're next to the creature. So Ben
Okay.
Getty is towards the back of the truck.
Okay. So he's like at least like what? Fucking.
Maybe like five, maybe like 1 or 2 big strides away. He's within reach if you wanted to walk over there and grab him.
Okay. I just want to make sure that I'm not gonna fucking hit him in this bullshit.
Oh no, he's fine.
Okay. So you said jumper cables. So, fucking, can she fucking start the car and do some fucking engineer bullshit to fry it?
So you don't technically need to start the car to get a jump from the battery.
Oh, you don't?
I don't think so.
Oh, shit.
Nope.
Yeah. So the car
Okay.
battery is just live.
Mm-hmm.
All right then.
So you don't actually need to start it to take advantage of the jumper cables.
You would
What
only
you're
need to have
thinking
it
of-
turned on if the car was dead, essentially. The other car would
Yeah.
be on.
Yeah. So what you're thinking about needing to start is if you're jumping off of another car to like rev
Yes.
it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. My bad.
No, you're good. I thought the same thing. But
Okay.
you can see from where you're standing, there are jumper cables in one of the door side compartments, easily within reach.
Okay. Could she take them, plug them into the car, and just, I don't know, throw them at the creature?
You would have to plug them to the car battery and under the hood.
Okay. Is there any way to get there?
Yes. So you can, from without having to move much, you can reach back, grab the jumper cables, and then I would say it would probably use your turn to do this, but you could pop the hood, run over to the hood, and you're still like within range of the creature.
Mm-hmm.
How about this? You can do all of that. You can grab the jumper cables. You can run over to the hood and pop the hood open. And if you want to do more, you will incur an attack from the creature every time you do something. So if you want to connect the jumper cables, the creature gets to attack you. If you want to try and attack with the jumper cables, the creature gets to attack you.
This
Okay.
is a utility truck, right?
Yeah.
I guess it would be kind of a luck thing, but like, don't those things usually have an extra like jumper, like the extra battery jumpers? You know what I mean? Just a suggestion.
Possibly. I would say you would roll to find that. If you wanted to look for that.
Okay. I think I'll just. Okay, hold on.
Because also remember, this thing it goes next, so it's gonna
Mhm.
fucking attack you anyway here shortly.
Yeah.
Yes.
it's
It will either get one attack or two attacks or three attacks.
Yeah.
Also, depending on how much damage she manages to do to it if she does hit it.
Yep. There's also that.
If. Okay, so. 3 attacks. Kaya's fucking hurt bad. You told me to mark 3 and 4 harm boxes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I have a -1 to all rolls anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I guess I'll just do the 1. I'll just connect them.
So you'll grab the jumper cables, run over to the hood, throw the hood open, connect them, and take
Yeah.
one attack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. It's going to, as you reach back, grab the jumper cables, and duck, and this thing just crashes into the area above where your head was. You slip underneath its arm. As you're moving, you reach down below the driver's, beneath the steering wheel, and pop the hood. You hear a thunk, and then this creature lurches down where you were again. You slip around to the front of the hood, reach in, throw the hood up, grab the jumper cables, and go to connect them. And as soon as you connect the cables, you look up, and the creature is swinging at you. What is your tough defense?
12.
Okay. So Mark.
Would her crash armor help at all?
It's a +1.
Not anymore.
Oh, okay. So it'd be 11 then.
So
it's a +1 crash armor, +2 space helmet. So it'd just be 11 for tough defense.
gotcha. For all intents and purposes, the armor is effectively inert, and that is the reason you are not paced from jumping off your motorcycle. Which is why I gave it to you. I gave it to you with the expectation that you might crash and not die.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You're
I appreciate
welcome.
it. I appreciate it.
Yes, really, that helmet, I was like, buy it. You want it. You definitely want it. Okay, but anyway, my generosity aside, you connect the jumper cables, you turn back, and this thing reaches a hand out towards you. And it's not just like a normal 5-fingered hand. As it reaches its hand out towards you, it like widens in almost like a kite when it hits wind and starts to like try to envelop your head. And you reach up with the crowbar, and you try to reach the crowbar and the axe, but you can only grab one in the moments that you're like that you panic and try to defend yourself with it. Do you have a preference as to which one you get?
Is there like some obvious like one is better than the other that I'm missing?
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay, then I feel like Kai would prefer crowbar.
Okay. So you to panic block, you grab the crowbar, reach up and hold it out in front of your face as this thing crashes into it, and a couple of those long fingers stretch out, and in just this sudden flash of speed, they shoot like have you seen Fullmetal Alchemist?
Just a little bit.
We've had this discussion before, Joe. She has not.
Oh, okay.
It's in like the first 5
Well,
episodes.
We had this discussion last game.
It's fine. So these fingers shoot out like they're just suddenly go from a few inches long to 3 feet long. One of them sticks into your shoulder. Another shears past your cheek and cuts your cheek in a few places, and the other misses and nicks your ear. There's two on either side of your head. And you're just like kind of trapped between it, and you're just gritting your teeth holding this thing away from your face. But it didn't grab your face, which is good. Go ahead and mark the minor harm box number 1.
Okay. Okie doke.
And that will be your turn, which makes it the creature's turn. It's going to immediately follow up and attack you again with its other hand.
On 2 hands.
You're holding the crowbar up, and you see it start to raise its other hand, and you like gritting your teeth, your eyes dart over towards the hand and then dart back to the one in the hand that you're staving off, and you're just like shit. You let go you let go of the crowbar with your flesh hand, reach back, grab the fire axe by like really close, high on the neck towards the blade, and hold that out in front of you, almost like the flat top part of the axe pointed towards the creature, and blunt the hand with it. The creature's like encroaching on you and getting closer and closer, and the first you're holding off the initial attack with one hand and the crowbar, and the second attack with your other hand and the fire axe. The other hand shoots off all 5 fingers. 4 of them go wide. One of them sticks uncomfortably close to your throat. It doesn't hit you square in the throat. It scrapes down the left side of your throat.
Jesus.
And that hurts like a motherfucker. It is like a burning, slicing pain in your neck. And mark the other minor harm box. That's box 1, 2, 3, and 4 for you.
All right.
Then we'll go over to the one with the only one that can actively regenerate. Okay. Lockhart, as you're dealing with the one that you are spaghetti holding and the one under your boot, you see a cable whip around, out, and withdraw into the main bulk of the creature. And you feel this thrum as it recalls that pseudopod. And you're not sure what's going on, but the one beneath your foot, what is your tough defense, Lockhart?
It is. 11, but I also have specialty. And I don't know if the armor counts here as well. The covert armor.
The armor won't count for the one under your boot because it's digging through your armor.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But
So I have a +1 to tough defense and specialties, though.
gotcha.
So 12 total.
Okay, so you're still holding that one on the rebar. It doesn't seem to be going anywhere. The one under your boot, that sharp pain intensifies drastically, and you feel you're 100% certain that your foot is now bleeding in your shoe. It hasn't pierced your foot, but took a minor harm. And then the spaghetti one, it rears back and it's trying to fight against your grip and pull itself out of the tangle, but it only succeeds in inconveniencing your balance for a moment, to which you just bend your arm a little bit and flex your elbow, and you just right yourself, and it's not going anywhere. And now the creature. Okay, that's a crit. So the creature, you see Lockhart and everyone's outside now, aren't they?
No, Lindis is still inside.
Lindis is still inside, but the other three, Kaya, Legacy, and Lockhart, you're all outside in the street.
Mm-hmm.
So you see that smoking cloud just billowing out from where that explosion occurred, and from there, you see Legacy, a sight all too familiar. You see these two eyes just eking out from different wisps of darkness, and they are still somehow just placid and uncaring and unblinking. And you hear this thump and then a grinding sound that sounds like concrete sliding against concrete. This grinding of stone. And the ground starts to shake. And you hear this crack as a crack shoots out from where the creature is nested in the ground on the concrete. It's about like 15, 20 feet. Just this instant sharp shatter. And its movement is still kind of cloaked, but it's watching you.
Me?
Well, you get the sense that it's watching all of you.
Okay.
Legacy, you just recognize that its eyes. You just recognize its eyes. Everyone, when you look at it, you see. You get the sensation of being watched, and when you actually look into the smoke, you can see just the barest glint of a human-like eye, the size of a small volleyball, just hiding in the wisps of smoke. And it's a bit unusual. It's too human, and the eyes are a bit too close together and open too wide. It's uncanny. But you can't see where the eyes connect to the body. You just see the shadows and smoke. Lockhart, it's your turn.
Okay. So the one that isn't spaghettied, it went back into the main blob, essentially?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Do I see it anywhere near me? Like anywhere else, I guess.
The only thing that you can see is the one that's beneath your boot and the one that is currently wrapped around your rebar piece.
Okay. Mm. So, can I, like, with how it's tangled up and whatnot, can I take the barb the rhubarb or whatever that I'm using, put it straight down, like so it's digging into it.
Like stab the limp body on the ground.
Okay, so it's still not moving essentially. Besides,
Yeah,
the
the
part
body is entirely limp. You're only fighting that
The
weird
tentacle.
antenna. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll just grab at it then to try and
Do your cool glove thing.
yeah, I want to
Okay.
grab at it. The one at my foot, I think would be a better idea.
So grab the tendril that is piercing your foot. Okay. So roll an attack for that.
Okay.
And this is a hand-to-hand attack, and you can use your toughness. Or tough, not
Yeah.
toughness. Toughness is a feat.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Not a great roll, but you have a lot of skill applied here. So you look down at this thing near your feet, and you feel that pain. It feels like someone's like you stepped on a nail.
Yeah.
It hurts. It hurts badly enough that it is starting to distract you from what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to like information gather and collect evidence of this thing.
That's exactly what I'm trying to do.
You look at your hand and then look down at the thing by your foot, and you reach down and snag it. Are you trying to? You said you're trying to grab it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
If like what I'd like to do, obviously, is to grab it and potentially break a piece off of it. It's kind of like
Okay.
would be cool, but it's not. I can wait for that. It's kind of the thing.
Okay. So you reach down and grab part of it, so that there's a segment that's under your foot, and then the one that's in your hand, and then the rest of it, which stretches back into the main bulk of the creature. As you're holding that piece, you squeeze, and there is a spark, and then this, as your glove activates, roll 4d6.
Okay. Oh.
Roll?
Not question mark. Pretty good.
16. Okay, pretty good. So you reach down and grab it. In so doing, you wrap your hand around this sharp, pointed, like almost like a metal rose thorn. So mark the other minor damage box.
I
As you
had that.
you had 2 marked.
Yep.
Okay, then
From the
you
explosion.
would have the third one marked. Then the next lowest one.
Gotcha.
So you reach down and grab it with your hand and squeeze, and you feel this thing like pierce the glove and pierce into your skin, and you can feel blood trickling out of your fingers, and you can see it in between your knuckles. And then that spark goes off, and you feel that thrashing get wild, which hurts your hand a lot. But you dealt enough damage to a small enough part of its body that you've singed that piece off, and it disconnects, and the piece that like where your hand, like where the edge of your fist ends, a small piece of it is singed entirely off, and what's in your hand is just entirely like burnt, kind of crumb pieces, like sheared
Okay.
metal, burned, crusted scrap. And the piece that was severed sits under your boot and has stopped thrashing. The piece that remains slingshots back into the creature's bulk.
Okay.
You look down at your hand and you see that there's blood everywhere, and there's a couple of nasty pricks and holes in that or in your glove. It'll need repairs, but it's not too damaged that it won't work for a little bit. It's just not going to be. It's just something that you need to fix in the future.
Yeah.
The near future. But that is your turn. Legacy. You just watched this fucking psycho reach down and rip the tentacle off with her bare ass hand.
Legacy has her own issues compared to Stranger Psycho. She's got himbo behind her. She's got friend almost dead on one end. She's got the other friend telling her to find a drone for some fucking reason.
Marcus looks and just goes, "What do you want me to do? What do we do? What? We need a drone?"
Oh no! She says we need a drone. Why do we need a fucking drone? And she's just complaining to herself as she tries to make a beeline for some other computer store or something.
I'm gonna roll for Marcus to have an opinion here. Marcus watches you start to go towards the computer thing, and he looks down towards Kaya, and he goes, "Shit, she's not doing good." And he looks back to you into the computer store, and he just goes, "God!" And he turns and starts running towards Kaya.
Oh shit!
Marcus.
The best boy.
Oh, our golden retriever boy.
Lindis, you have successfully made thermite in a ceramic potted plant.
Yep. While I'm waiting for Legacy to give me that goddamn drone, I'm gonna get some paste and apply it to the ceramic pot
Mm-hmm.
so I can attach it to the drone. And I'm gonna make my way over to her.
As you are making your way over towards them.
Wait, hold on. It's in a pot. It's in a pot.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
A ceramic pot. Lindis, what is your quick defense?
My quick defense
Yeah,
is 9.
9. Okay. So as you are carrying this pot and running, you feel a droop and then a plop and then some heat. And you look down and you can see that the hole at the base of the potted plant is dripping thermite paste.
So at least it's not ignited yet, so I'm fine.
You have thermite paste on your legs now.
Okay, that's fine. Like, sorry,
Just
but
be
that
aware.
drone.
Fucking working on it. What do you think? I could just pop drones just anywhere? I'm not fucking Kaya.
So you're going to go help Legacy look for a drone.
Yep.
Jesus.
Okay. I
Only
will.
these three roommates bickering in the middle of chaos.
These three? No, those two.
Kaya, you are almost completely pinned down by this creature as it's bearing down on you, holding your two trusty tool weapons at either side, keeping its elongated hands and fingers at bay. It seems to be looming over you more and more, and out of the corner of your eye, you can see Marcus coming towards you.
With bent stool.
Yes, he is charging over to you with. It is definitely a stool, but it is super fucked up.
Okay. What? I'm sorry. Since I've seen the pictures now, and that he looks like fucking Takashi from Big Hero 6, I just see the determined face running with broken stool.
So,
Okay.
for full disclosure, he will go on my turn next. Now I have officially supplanted him in the initiative.
All right. What is that stool made of wood by chance?
It is a steel, and
Fuck.
the fucking cushion part is like probably some shitty rubber and stuffing.
Okay, it's one like, would I be able to tell him to fucking like stop?
Yeah, you can yell
Okay.
whatever you want at him.
Okay, good, because I don't want to like hook this creature up to electricity and then he swings at it with a metal stool. I don't want to fry Legacy's boyfriend right now.
Not when he's
Okay.
trying to save you.
I know, exactly. Okay. So one hand. Okay, so I don't know why I'm reminded of fucking. Have you guys seen Charmed?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
The old one.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, like,
Yeah.
you remember Prue?
Yep.
I feel like I'm gonna have a Prue moment depending on how this fucking goes. So can Kaya drop the things holding the drop her fucking weapons to grab her jumpers really quick and just like stab them into the creature?
Yeah.
Do
I would
one
let
quick
you do that.
movement.
So
Alright.
it's connected. You have it all set up. So
Mhm.
in one like sudden burst of speed, you let go of the crowbar and the axe, which are suspended only by the fact that they are partially stuck and absorbed into the creature's hand. And then you spin around, grab both ends of the jumper cables, and thrust them into the creature's chest.
Mhm.
Roll a. You can roll clever to attack if you want.
Please? Oh fuck,
Yeah.
Sailor, stop it.
You can roll clever to attack, and I will let you apply your engineer bonus here.
Oh, I have electrical engineering too.
Yeah, you can apply that.
Yeah, so engineerings don't stack, correct? Just to double check?
Correct. You only pick one.
Yeah. So electrical engineering plus clever. Oh boy, here we go. 12.
That's a crit.
Oh shit.
That's a crit.
Mhm.
So you spin around in that fast motion, and with both of the positive negative in your hand, you lunge forward, press down on the rubber clamp ends, and then you shove them into its chest. You stop just shy. Its chest gives a little bit, like putty, which you weren't expecting, but you're able to react fast enough that you don't let it like suck in your hands, but it immediately starts to absorb the clamps, only to have the electric, like, you can hear this crackling and the sparking, and you can see from the contacts on the battery, there's a smoke rising off of them. And then you look at the creature, and it's like starting to jitter and shake. Roll me 6d6.
Oh boy. 23.
Okay. So with those two cable ends shoved into it, you don't hear anything. There's not a big bombastic flash as it subsumes those contacts into itself. You just see black circles start to form where it like had those the contacts shoved into its chest, and it gets wider and wider. You know that scene at the beginning of the first of Star Wars Episode 1 where Qui-Gon stabs the door?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's that, except this creature's chest, and it's blackened, and then it starts to get red. And this creature's like, it's doesn't seem to be lurching forward towards you anymore. It seems to be in like just shaking, just visibly twitching and shaking.
Alright. She'd like to back away and warn Marcus that it's live. Like electricity live, don't touch it with metal.
I was going to say, please don't say it's live, because he was going to say, I know it's alive.
No. I mean, like, it's electric or whatever.
It's electrifying.
So you step
Neon and
out
blood
from
too.
underneath the creature's arm, and you warn him off, just like stop, it's electric, it's a live electric current, and he starts to slow to a halt. Well, not to a halt. He starts to slow, but he keeps her like going towards you, the stool lowered, and as you duck out from under it, and it doesn't pursue you, it just fidgets and twitches. It's you can look back at it. You're far enough away that it's not in melee range with you. It's not able to like swing and hit you. But as you turn to look at it, its body is trying to reform so that it's facing the opposite direction so it can pursue you. But it's like twitching and unable to properly reform itself. So it's it's almost as if it's perfectly mirrored on this very weird like axis, as if your body was split like from the top at a horizontal angle, or from like the top down. It's very bizarre. It's like this weird shape. And Marcus just looks at it and he just goes, "What did you do?"
Jumper cables, car.
And he like blinks for a minute. He's like, "Electricity?
Yeah,
Holy
that-
shit!"
Legacy just screamed it, so I improvised.
He looks back towards where he ran from Legacy, and he looks back and he looks at Kai and he just goes, okay, and he reaches, like, he tries to go to get an arm under yours so that he can start to help you walk.
She'll probably shake him off. Can she still walk?
She can still walk. It's definitely like laborious, but you can still walk.
I can still walk. So
Tell him
If
to
you're gonna-
grab Ben Getty.
I was gonna say, if you're gonna get anyone, she points to McGetty. Get him. I can walk.
He pokes his head over around the side of that creature, which the creature is getting slowly more and more coalescent on the correct side. He sees Ben Getty and he keeps his eyes locked on this creature and then runs over to Ben Getty. His face, his expression, Marcus's expression is very like concerned. He looks at Ben Getty, and you can see him like he looks down and up and down him, checks something on his person, grabs the helmet and twists it off, and then like grabs his cheeks to kind of look at his head, and he just goes, okay, cool, I'm not a doctor, that's fine. And he turns around and like puts an arm around, like puts one of Ben Getty's arms around his neck, and then starts to hoist Ben Getty up with just no effort on his part, since Ben Getty is so small.
Okay. All right. How much time is the truck gonna keep that thing at bay?
Well, with it just connected like that, it
Mhm.
depends on how much current it can draw the creature. So it's hard to tell. But it seems to be that the creature's like, you can see now from the opposite side, there are blackened holes starting to form in its stomach. So you get the impression that it's getting pretty fucked up.
Okay. All right. Well, Kaya's gonna fucking back off and regroup. I guess follow Marcus to Legacy if that's where he's going.
Yeah, he comes over to you. He starts like getting Ben Getty and starts to hobble back towards you.
All right. Well, we've got to get them out of here. What are they doing? I heard them talking about a drone. Do you know what's going on?
He shakes his head. He's like, I don't know anything that's happening right now. I don't fucking nothing. I didn't know this motorcycle race was going to be lethal, and now there's fucking monsters.
Okay. Well, one problem at a time. She's like, get him out of here. I'm gonna go regroup with the others, see what's going on.
You looking at Ben Getty now from like without the helmet on, being carried by Marcus. He has like a really bad gash on the side of his head. His hair, which is typically like a very very light blonde whitish color, he's got blood caked through part of his hair, and down the side of his face, and his eyes are closed, but he doesn't look, he's not necessarily conscious, but he's not. There's still enough color in his face that he's not dead. At least not. It doesn't appear dead. But
Right.
he definitely looks rough. Marcus
Jesus
starts to
Christ.
carry him away.
Yeah, it's like fucking get those two out of here. Kai's gonna run towards where she saw Legacy last. And I guess
Okay.
Lindis too? She saw the two of them together?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you run back over towards the entry of that random electronics toy store that they're in, shuffling around for drones that aren't made by Nerf. And you see them arguing in there with Lindis covered in what looks to be like black gritty toothpaste from the waist down, holding a potted plant.
What the fuck?
Oh, good.
And
you're
now-
here. You want to pilot the drone.
Just
now we're
help
going
me find
to
a
the
fucking
creature
drone.
stream.
She won't leave me alone about the drone. She won't tell me why she needs a fucking drone. There's monsters outside.
Alright, I'll find a drone. And can we say that Kaya grabbed the fucking crowbar and axe?
Yes, I will say that you can grab. Actually, roll 2d6.
Oh boy. 4.
Okay, you grab the axe.
Oh.
You can't grab both.
Yeah, you at least get one. Don't say aw.
Yep.
I know.
You snag the axe because after you shove the contacts in, you think about it and you're like, can't touch the crowbar. Grab the
Oh,
axe
shit,
by the
you're right.
wood. I was rolling to see if you were able to grab both, and then I was going to say you can grab both of them if you want.
I forgot. Thank you. Okay. That's it.
Okay. Sorry, I need water. The creature on its turn. Okay. So, hey. You see that last. You like Kaya, as you're running up towards the center, you see Lockhart, and she is currently. It looks like she's got one creature like wrangled by the neck somehow, like with a rope or something. You're not sure what's going on with that. She was also like clenching her left fist in this really cool way, and there's just like ashes crumbling out of it. But other than that, she seems to be pretty well handling the situation, despite looking pretty rough. As you're kind of reconvening, all of you feel this crunch and a crack again as this concrete, this break in the concrete just extends further and further. You can see the road, the actual square, beginning to bow in the center. And the smoke is starting to clear now, and you can see the creature is smaller than it used to be.
Oh, fuck.
But
God damn it.
that is all you see, and I'm gonna roll big money, no whammies. Whammies. All right, and then roll for this one. All right. Kaya, you look over your shoulder, or rather, no, you don't look over your shoulder and see this. You're helping them look for a drone. You hear Marcus say, "God damn it!" And you, like, everyone turns and you can see that Marcus is hobbling towards you all with a very, very beat up Bengetti. And behind him, that one with the electrodes that was shoved in its stomach from the car battery, it has freed itself and is now awkwardly like stumbling towards you with two gaping holes seared in its like abdomen. Lockhart, you're seeing a bunch of weird stuff that you recognize in a place that you didn't expect to see it. So you see Bengetti, who you know by a different name, and you see Marcus, who you don't know immediately, but there's a familiarity about him, and it clicks. He's wearing a jacket from the corporation you used to work at, and they're just hanging out with these randos. Apparently, they all just know each other. But yeah, other than that, Ben Getty looks like shit.
Yeah, that was my next plan.
So what's the play?
Fuck this thing. When I see, Ben Getty and Marcus, who I didn't realize I knew, but
No, you don't know him, but you recognize the
Yeah,
clothing he's
yeah.
wearing, the
But-
jacket.
But point is, seeing Ben Getty, I'm like, oh fuck. This is gonna be such a bad idea. About fucking
Yes.
friendship.
Yes.
I
Mm-hmm.
say fuck this to the thing that I have in my hands on Spaghetti Noodle. I do have one question though.
Okay.
Do I still have that piece in my foot?
You can still feel the pain in your foot. It's not moving.
But it is
But-
still connected.
It is still connected to your foot.
Good. I need that for proof. So yeah, I let go the barb, I guess.
Oh,
Looks like I
the
take-
rebar.
Yeah, can I take it with me?
Yeah, you it's still spaghettied with that thing. So you have spaghettied the body of a creature.
Yeah.
So you can technically drag it around if you want. It's not heavy enough that it would stop you, but it would probably impair your movement because you have a hurt foot as well.
Yeah.
Roll-
Nah, I'm gonna drop it. I'm just gonna drop it.
Okay.
I'm gonna drop it and rush over to the thing that's after Marcus and Ben Getty.
Okay.
And I'm just going to, if I can reach it,
Yes, you can.
I'm going to straight up just punch it with my left hand as hard as I
Yeah. Okay.
Holy
roll
shit.
roll for a fucking a left hook.
can. And not only that, I'm throwing my whole body into this. Like, I'll tackle it. if I
Superman
have to.
punch.
Yeah,
Fuck
like
yeah.
I'm going full in. So
I will give you rather than advantage, I will give you a boost on this because you are aware of its weakness and this creature is already impaired and you have a running start.
Okay. So like a +1 then bonus is what you're saying?
A boost is you roll your normal attack roll and you get to add a d6 to it.
So where you have the
Oh.
2 die, you'll put 3.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And hand to hand?
Yes, hand to hand.
Okay, cool.
Roll to throw hands.
Perfect. And then add one more d6.
Didn't I? Oh, I didn't.
Sometimes when you
It's-
boost up to
Yeah.
the third die, it doesn't roll the first time for some reason. We've had that
Okay.
issue the
Sorry.
entire time.
No, it's
So-
not your fault. The thing is
script
kind
is
of
weird.
finicky.
Okay.
If you just rolled like a flat d6 after, I wouldn't blame you. Yeah,
21?
that's perfect. So with 21,
21.
you with a hurt
Ooh.
foot, you look down and you're like, that counts as proof, and you just break into a dead sprint. You run past Ben Getty, past Marcus, and you're like beeline straight for this creature. It's like you can see its hands are wide and its fingers are long and like pointed and like they're like grasping and trying to reach out, but it's even as fast as it like seems to be, as it's somehow faster than the other ones are now. You are way faster. You charge forward without even slowing. You slide into a punch position And how do you want to do this?
Okay. So it's like stomach area is already like damaged,
Oh yeah,
right?
it's got two holes that are, you can see the view behind it.
Okay. So what I did is when I slid in to punch, I punched at its stomach and then pulled up into like an uppercut through its head.
Just like this fucking rising phoenix ass punch.
Yeah.
You sling your fist into its gut. You make a third hole connecting the other two, and then you kick back on your heels, lean, and then rip your fist up and through its head and chin, and you just carve like fucking. You turn its entire front into like a canoe, and
Yeah,
scoop
basically.
this shard metal putty out of it, and it just like in like one big glob, it is thrown off of the end of your fist and onto the ground like 15 feet away. And this thing is just standing there. The antenna was completely scooped up and cut off with your punch, and this thing just falls backwards into a puddle, just splats on the ground. It looks like it got hit by a car in a Looney Tunes cartoon. And you look at your fist, and there's so much blood, and there's so many small cuts and gashes and scrapes. It is on fire with pain, but you just kind of shrug it off because your body is full of adrenaline right now. And that will be your turn.
I do want to say one thing if I can.
Yeah.
All full of adrenaline, just kind of like huffing and whatever. I turn back to Marcus, or the guy holding Mengele, essentially.
Marcus.
The Slender Man. Yeah. I'm like, get him out of here.
Marcus just looks at you like deer in the headlights, like, what the fuck? And he doesn't say it. You can just see the what the fuck in his eyes. He just blinks and then nods. Just goes, yeah. And then continues to hobble away in the direction he was going. Just, he's now looking back not at the monster, but at you.
I'm focusing on the monster as he's hobbling away.
Good.
My
Good.
poor baby.
Aw.
What the fuck is just his catchphrase now? He's so confused all the time.
Fuck. I can't tell if seeing Legacy be all badass is a turn on or a turn off.
I don't think he knows either.
So, I will let Legacy and Lindis, I will let you combine your turns to piece together a drone. I'll let Legacy, Lindis, and Kaya, I will let all of you combine your turns so that you can piece together a drone, put the thermite pot on it, and fly it away.
Yep.
Like, meanwhile, back at the fucking computer store, Legacy has climbed up like 4 shelves to get to the top shelf somewhere.
Kaya
throwing
just
boxes
like-
off of it, trying to get to what she wants.
Kaya can just reach the top shelf. It's like you-
Yeah.
She wasn't here, I was trying.
Yeah.
Eventually finds the drone, tosses it down, and hops down. As Kaya's getting in the store.
You spend enough time looking around that it, like, you found a bunch of shitty drones and then a bunch of good ones that had been damaged by the chaos, and then eventually you find a fresh, undamaged, boxed one, which you tear open. You have a drone ready to go. You're going to put the thermite pot on it, right?
Yep. I got paste, so I paste it to the drone, and I have Legacy like hot wire, like an ignition. So like we press a button and it ignites the thermite. So we're gonna fly the drone to the body and ignite it.
Okay.
Yeah, just
The
using some of
fuck?
the few phone parts that she had still stashed from she was making EMPs earlier.
Okay. I roll fucking roll a clever check and add your +1. I would count this for some reason as an attack against a dreamer. So
Okay.
you can have a +1 to it.
It is an attack, and it is against the dream.
Jesus Christ.
Cool. So you seeing the paste and having Lindis tell you it's thermite, you immediately are like, I don't even need to try hard. I just need to make something that shorts and will make enough heat, and then we're good. You grab a battery and grab some spare cable, and you wire together a tiny little hot device, and you slap that shit right on the top of the drone, and you are ready to go. This thing is super ramshackle. It will work. It is incredibly dangerous. Lindis, roll me an unluck check.
An unluck check.
What's an
Sorry,
unluck
Freudian
check?
slip. It's a luck check.
What's the check?
That is a 2d6. It's just a flat 2d6.
6.
Oh, it's truly delightful.
Just ramshackle and very dangerous just sounds like the description of all of our shit.
So as you are putting this device together, Lindis, you feel a little bit of the heat off of that device, and you realize, like, oh shit, I gotta get away from it, and take a step back, but there's a brief spark. And what is your quick defense?
9.
Cool. Thermite paste, cool. Holy shit. I'm so mad that you're this lucky. Alright, so you back away knowing that thermite is just waiting for an excuse to ruin everything. Unfortunately, you back away just a bit too slow. A spark comes off and lights on part of your leg, and that shit immediately takes off. It is blazing, but you thankfully react fast, and the putty isn't spread across a huge part of your leg. It dropped, like dribbled onto it. So you grab a nearby, just like a data slate tablet device from just the counter, and scrape the thermite off, which is not a perfect solution, but it is not burning through your flesh and bone leg. It is incredibly
my leg's
painful.
cybernetic, actually.
Yes, that is the other saving grace here. You take one level 3, or you take one. What is it? You take one minor harm or minor injury.
Okay.
From the thermite mishap.
Okay.
I'll have you know, I rolled like absolute dog shit on all 3 dice. But who's piloting the drone?
Kaya.
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 Drone op-
operator.
She is a drone operator, but she gets a +1 to drone use, right?
Yep.
However, she's hurt as fuck, so she's got a -1 to all rolls regardless.
Do you not have anything else to benefit?
I don't know. With engineering,
Engineering would, I would say, your drone use would help, and I would say you have engineering, electrical engineering, and motorcycle, and what else? Anything else?
drone use.
Drone use.
She's got. Just no, that's defense. Clever mechanic. That's an advantage in repairing hardware. She's got team mom. I think that's it. It's just engineering, electrical engineering, drone use, motorcycles.
I will say for the sake of making you like more useful in terms of drone capabilities, because you have caked the drone in thermite, you need someone who knows how to pilot it, so you are the only real choice. You'll still have a +3 for your drone use bonus and your engineering bonus, and you can roll a quick check.
Okay. So, like separately or with the piloting?
That together. So +3 plus or your engineering plus your drone plus your quick, or not quick, clever plus your
Okay.
clever.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know why I said quick.
I was like, her dumped stat versus her highest stat. Okay, so it'd be her clever, and that's a +3 bonus, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okie doke. Here we go. 12.
Okay.
Not
That is certainly enough to not cause a huge problem. You grab the control. Your fingers hurt. You have blood all over the side of your face and neck. You are like, you blink a lot, and your vision like kind of goes in and out, like kind of fuzzy. But you're like, I've fucking flown this thing before. This is stupid. And then you grab the controller and start thumbing the sticks so that it takes off. You hear the low hum of the drone activate. It looks like kind of like a frisbee, but it's oblong, or not frisbee. It's looks kind of like a guitar pick. There's no fans or rotors on it. It's magnetically controlled, and it's unique to this station. It looks really cool, and it's also caked in thermite, which you fly out of the store and a couple feet down the street, and you're just gonna fly it straight into the thing.
Yep. That's the
Okay.
plan.
You
Yes.
you fly it over, and then you just look over to Lindis, and then like, you know that How to Train Your Dragon meme where it's like what, and then the fucking Hiccup giving thumbs up.
Yeah.
It's exactly that. Like Lindis is like, no, you got it. Just crash it. So
As soon
you
as it disappears into the
Training.
smoke, Legacy just like, and then like ducks down.
yeah,
so
we should get back.
you fly it into the smoke, and you're not sure where to like crash it, but you know that turning it off works just as well, so you just emergency power down, and then after a pause there is a flare up. It looks like you just poured an entire can of gasoline on like a dumpster fire, and the cracks in the concrete and the street light up from the glow of the thermite. The smoke, the black plume, turns into this sickly, like chemicalish blue color, and there's just a wave of heat. It goes from like a pretty moderate to temperature out. It is suddenly really hot. Like you just got blasted with like a really intense breeze from a 90-degree like humid Florida heat. But the thermite is working supposedly, and there is a cracking and some breaking, and then there's silence. And after a moment, you don't hear anything. You look out, and the smoke it's unusually quiet. All of the creatures that are still the bodies of the creatures have become entirely flat, liquidy, like jumbles of seemingly random scraps of metal. You can actually see where those bodies were. The humanoid looking pieces, they are it looks like a shredded pile of CD-ROMs. And Lockhart, you were outside and you were closer to this thing. You saw that drone fly in there, and you have this moment of like, what? And then the flare up happens, and you shield your eyes, and then you feel this quake beneath the ground, and the cracks start to echo out even further. But then you feel the silence, or you hear the silence settle in. But you are close enough. You feel this low, distant thump, like something falling down a hole. And Marcus and Ben Getty take up residence on a part of the street off to the side, just watching that whole thing. Ben Getty's still unconscious. And Marcus pretty much unscathed. Funny enough.
Small mental trauma.
But confused as all hell, and as the thermite heat starts to die down and the smoke starts to clear a lot more, you can see that there is a massive hole in the middle of the square, and concrete bows inward to a black pit. You look down into the black pit and you can see that there's about a 20 or 30 foot drop into a major sewer line where there's rushing water. Through what is probably like 8.5 feet of concrete and reinforced steel. This creature has burrowed its way down through it to escape. And that is where we'll end the session.
Damn.
I did not think someone would attempt to make thermite.
This is Piper we're talking about.
If you give me a
Yeah.
story, I'll ruin your life.
Jesus Christ. So I hope everyone had an enjoyable time, and I hope you all like Lockhart.